Hey everybody, Joe from Home Crush here, your grumpy Uncle Joe. I'm not going to review this, the Sirui 35mm anamorphic lens. If you need to make a purchase decision now, about 7 million YouTubers have already reviewed it. I will too, but I'm going to do it in my own way. And that way is to shoot lots of charts, yeah, but then I'm going to use it to shoot a creepy little movie for Halloween. So make sure you subscribe so you're notified when that's ready in late October. What I want to talk about today is how I wrote that creepy little movie for Halloween. If you want to make a movie, you need a story, which means someone needs to write a story. And writing a story means staring at a blank page, an open maw into an infinite void of possibility. And if that sounds scary, it should. While creative types tend to bristle at restrictions, nothing paralyzes us from doing something, quite like the possibility of doing anything. So forget about trying to think outside of the box. To be creative and productive, we need that box. Oftentimes a pre-assembled box is presented to us, but if not, then we need to build it for ourselves. By predefining what must be, we free up our minds to explore what could be. Now building your box isn't hard. You just start from the outside in, defining what must be. Some of those restrictions can be real, and some can be completely arbitrary. It's not so important what that box looks like, just that the walls are in place before you start writing. You're putting yourself in this box so that you can't get lost. You can't go too far astray before you hit a wall. Within those walls, anything goes. So as an example, what kind of box did I build for myself for my creepy little Halloween movie? The biggest, broadest box is usually purpose. Why am I making this? I love Halloween, and I can't control whether or not Nashville allows trick-or-treating. But I can get some friends together to make a scary movie. That's my purpose. The biggest version of my box. When you start building your box, certain decisions obviously lead to others. If I'm making a movie for Halloween, then it's an easy decision to pick the horror genre. And if I am making it for Halloween, that means I don't have much time. It needs to be short. And the main audience for shorts is online, so it needs to be really short. And online horror audiences pretty much expect a jump scare, so it needs that. See how one decision led to 4 more in quick succession? Now I know that high production value is really important to me, and I know that the more complicated the production, the harder that is to pull off. So I decide that I want to set rules for myself that will simplify the shoot day. One way to do that is to not need location sound. Now, I generally hate voiceovers. I think they're usually a crutch for lazy filmmaking. Maybe I should force myself to write a movie that depends on voiceover. Now my creative limitation is a creative choice that actually challenges me. I know that the best way to get production value on screen is to start with good production design. I need a great looking spooky location, but it needs to be conducive to, actual filmmaking. I need it to be conveniently located for a volunteer crew. I need to be able to have it for a long day, and it needs to be affordable. Yeah, money. That's a big old wall I need to build. I only have X amount of money to spend on this. And X ain't ever as big as you wish. My ideas need to fit within that box, or they'll never be anything other than ideas. There's a collection of standing sets in Nashville at an old converted paint factory called Warren Studios. I've shot there twice before, and the location manager is great to work with. Last time I was there, he told me about a new set that they were building. So I jump online, and sure enough, it's done. A creepy old Victorian parlor room. Bam, done. I'm writing something for that room. And that room screams Southern Gothic to me. My horror box just got a lot smaller and a lot more specific. Specific is good. Limiting my movie to that one room gives me instant production value. And not changing locations eliminates a lot of time and cost and complexity. Yeah, it limits the universe of possible things that can happen in my story to that room. But conversely, it allows me to focus on the universe of things that can happen within that room. That room has now become a literal sandbox to play within. So I've got a pretty good box already. I'm tempted to start writing. Just the room alone has inspired me. But I think I can make my box even smaller. Remember, the smaller my box, the more I can be creative without running the risk of getting lost. Where do I want to go as a filmmaker? How can I improve? I often wear so many hats that I can't concentrate on the actor's performance the way I know I should. Because I know how to do every job on the set, I'm always tempted to do so, especially cinematography. That's really hard for me to let go of. But I need to, because there are people better than me. I need to write something that forces me to change. So I look at those previous decisions, combined with where I want to go, and I build 2 more walls for myself. One, I'm going to write a monologue for a single actor. Because it's a voiceover, we'll have plenty of opportunity to focus on performance outside of the stress of the shoot day. And 2, something about the shoot needs to be so compelling that talented crew will want to work on it for little or no money. You know what's a really compelling challenge for a film crew? A oneer. I've got access to a hydraulic dolly and a talented operator. What about one long, slow, creepy dolly move underneath a long, slow, creepy monologue? And end that in a jump scare. I think that's it. I've come to a very small defined box, but I still haven't written a single word. Time to start? Maybe, but I think there's even more I can do to set myself up for success. What else can I pre-decide? What about my character? The better I know them before I start writing, the better I will write them. I want to challenge my writing, not just my directing. So I want to write someone very different from myself. Since I'm a middle-aged dude from the Northeast, maybe my protagonist should be a young woman from the South. And just looking at my set, it's obvious she's from the antebellum South. A time and a perspective I know nothing about. But I live in a city where you can't help but absorb some of it. That's a great wall to build for myself. I love working with both practical and visual effects. This is a horror, so some kind of monster is a no-brainer, right? While I can do makeup, and I love doing monster makeup, I can't do it and do a good job as a director. That's actually great, because that will force me to work with someone else. Done. There needs to be a monster. But I've already decided on only one actor. So is my young Southern Civil War era starlet my monster? That's a very interesting wall to erect. Look at that. That's a really nice box. While there are still gobs of story I can write in this box, that's a lot better than the countless stories floating around outside of it. This box gives me the confidence to now just sit down and write and see what happens. To be creative. Because this is a short, I'm not even going to write an outline. The combination of the location and the character I'm writing for automatically inspire an outline in my head. It's time to do the thing. Because my box isn't my story. My story still needs everything that makes a good story good. It needs a beginning, a middle, and an end. My character needs to go on that journey and to change along the way. Even more, my character needs to proactively cause that change. And if my story is really good, then hopefully the audience will be a little changed too. My box doesn't guarantee a good story. It just increases my odds. So with the box in my head, I put my head in that box, and I write my creepy little Halloween movie. Did I write a good movie? Well, you can be the judge of that when Smyrna premieres, October 31st, All Hallows Eve. I'm going to do a few more of these behind-the-scenes craft videos in the run-up to the movie, so if you're interested in everything that goes into making even a very short movie, be sure to subscribe. Now get out there and crush it.